Hello, everybody. I'm Paul. He's Jay. This is Double Play CLE. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. And I have a question for you, Jay. Who is the GOAT?
Who's the GOAT?
Yes.
Who's the GOAT of what?
When you think of the phrase, the GOAT, who is the first person you think of?
Well, there's two big names that come to mind. One would be Tom Brady, and the other one would be LeBron James. And I would say I would personally be apt to go with Tom Brady right off the bat. But I think you got to say it's LeBron James.
Why?
Because there's only three athletes that are billionaires. Can you tell me them, Paul?
Tom Brady, LeBron James are on the list, I would guess.
Tom Brady is not a billionaire.
He's not a billionaire?
Tom Brady is not a billionaire.
I genuinely didn't know that. Okay. Who? Well, LeBron is on the list.
Two of them play the same sport. LeBron is one of them.
Play currently or have played in the NBA?
I didn't say NBA. And as far as I know, the other two, I don't know if the other one still plays. You won't get the one.
Go for it. What's the list then?
Michael Jordan.
Well, that makes sense.
So there's your two basketball players.
He did play in the NBA, by the way.
You don't want to try for the third. If I give you, well, let me give you a hint. If I give you the sport, it'll give it away.
So it's probably golf and Tiger Woods.
That'd be correct. Tiger Woods is the other third billionaire.
Even after the divorce and all that crap?
I don't know about that. I guess so. I heard it that was very recently it was ESPN. So they were doing something and they were arguing about it, and they brought that up for LeBron James.
So you're opting LeBron James over Tom Brady then?
Well, I mean, it's hard to argue. Is it 7? It's 7, right? Tom Brady has 7 championships.
Yes, 7.
It's hard to argue that, but it's also hard to argue going to the NBA Finals for 10 consecutive years.
But how many did you win, though?
See, that's always the argument, but, how many did he win? Do you know the answer to that?
I don't. I kind of block out LeBron James from my life, except for one time in Cleveland in 2016.
Well, he's got 4 championships. I don't know if I'm pretty sure that whole run was included in that 10 years. So that would make him 4 and 6. He's lost more than that, though. I thought he was like 4 and 7. I could be wrong. Right. I don't have that. I don't have that off the top of my head.
Okay, but let's just throw this out here, because the argument that you'll get against LeBron James is that Michael Jordan was the best basketball player, especially in his time, right? So I want to throw a hypothetical at you, because we all know that Michael Jordan is an NBA owner, and that has been an abysmal failure. He's actually trying to sell his stake in the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, that's another point. He sucks.
So here's my question to you. Say right now, 2023, LeBron James announces his retirement from playing and buys an NBA team, and then does worse than Michael Jordan did as an owner. Does that affect his GOAT status?
I do believe so, because I would use it in an argument. But I mean, the same people that are going to hate on LeBron James are going to tell you that he did what? How did he win those super teams, Paul? You said it yourself way back on Double Play episode. I don't remember which one.
3. It was like 3.
Yeah. Okay. Well, how did he get those championships?
He bought him.
So, okay. So I guess just take him out of the equation and replace him with, I would assume, someone of his caliber, and he'll just do it all over again.
Do you think that had Steph Curry not been in the way, that LeBron would have won more championships with the Cavaliers?
Because I'll answer that just in a second. Because to my point I was just making is, people like to make the comment, oh, lay GM, stuff like that, because he runs the team and stuff like that. Well, then, he runs teams and they win championships. I think LeBron too, a lot of people like to, again, how am I trying to say this? You only think of him as like a basketball player, not like a real person or a father, which as a father, he's a role model father. He is a role model person. I look what he's done for communities and so forth and so on, so I think he'd be a great coach and owner, not really coach. I think he'd be a good coach too. I think you coach before you own. But Michael Jordan never coached, huh?
No. And the thing with Michael Jordan as an executive, I guess would be the best way to put it, is he seems to fall into the formula that most great players who turn into executives do, which is they were fantastic in the game. But once they get out of the game and they have to look at the bigger picture, they just can't do it.
Yeah, and it's something different, to money management, people management, all sorts of different stuff. And then
Like
what was your previous question?
if LeBron James were to retire, that one?
Yes.
Yes. So if LeBron James retired, took over another team as the owner, and was even worse than Michael Jordan, does that affect his GOAT status?
Oh,
Because
yeah, yeah.
you
We
could
were
argue
saying,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
thing with Tom Brady, that messy divorce with his wife that basically cost him both his family and his playing ability, because Tom Brady, who played last year, was not the same Tom Brady.
Well, and that goes to say there's a lot of speculation within that, in my opinion. He's getting older. Obviously, he's going to hit some point where he's not going to just be the Tom Brady that he was. As far as the divorce and stuff, I'm a firm believer in, hey, mind your own business. So you never really know unless you were there. So, I mean, I was not there. So I have, it's a whole lot of, and that's personal issues and stuff like that. So I try not to get into that because, again, they can say this, they can say that. It was pretty civil as far as I know, which is good for both their parts. Um, I don't know. Again, there's a lot of personal in that, so it's hard to say, whether you're, oh, because I stuck with Tom Brady for him coming back for another season, but it
Yes, you
looks
did.
like that was, but it looks like that wasn't the right choice for him because he still went to the playoffs. It's not like he sucked, won 2 games, but I mean, I don't know. Again, there's a lot of personal stuff that I don't think I, or anyone should comment on. You can, but who's to
Yay!
say? Who's to say what? You know what I mean? So
And I want to also throw that to something you said earlier. Tiger Woods being one of, if not the greatest golfer our generation's ever seen. And we're not even really talking about him in this discussion anymore because of everything that's happened to him off the golf course. What level of outside activities should affect somebody's GOAT status? Because we talk about
I
this with
don't
the Hall of Fame.
necessarily think that's true because that was over 10 years ago, right?
The Tiger Woods stuff?
Yeah, like around there. It was a while ago now, and he came and he. I don't remember. I don't keep track of golf that much.
Well,
But if
we
I'm
always
not
talk
mistaken,
about
he came back and then he just fell off skill wise. Go ahead.
well, we always talk about with the Hall of Fame because there's always that debate of should somebody be a Hall of Famer, especially the fringe candidates. And one of the things that I always mention is ambassadorship, character outside of the game. You could argue that basically all four of the individuals we just mentioned, that would take a huge hit based on some of their actions off the court or the field or the course.
I mean, barring LeBron. LeBron's never done anything wrong.
I feel like you're being a little bit biased simply because you're wearing a
No,
LeBron James jersey.
but I'm not though. LeBron James, that's another thing that I think, to your point, makes him the GOAT. I'm being serious. LeBron James has never done anything other than people disliking him for his decisions he's made to go to other teams and acquire people that you're talking within the sport. Outside of the sport, LeBron James has done nothing but what? Make a school, give back to the communities, give back to the kids. I'm sorry. Can you tell me some? Keep his wife, not cheat on his wife, raise his children.
He
Has
bastardized the Space Jam franchise, and I cannot forgive him for that.
Okay. So I would like to
that was a terrible movie. Admit it.
I would like to reiterate that it is entirely unfair to put LeBron James into that conversation. Because LeBron James has done nothing to disparage his legacy whatsoever, as far as outside of basketball. As far as
So
inside of basketball too. But
so of those four,
I am a LeBron lover. But I think even the haters can admit LeBron has never done anything look up to easily. Him and I think like him, Dwayne Wade, who he played with, obviously won two of his championships with, is another good one. Shaq, Kobe, R.I.P. Uh, but I'm just saying, out of the four, what?
out of the four goats, you're saying LeBron James, the goat of goats.
I would say so, yes, and I'm sure I would catch a lot of heat for that. It's tough. Tom Brady has more championships. How many times? What's Tom Brady's Super Bowl record?
I know he's lost at least one.
He's lost three that I can think of. No, he's lost two that I can think of. Because he's lost two to
The
the Giants.
Giants. That might be
He's
it.
lost. Nah, he's lost another one. He's lost three. Did he lose?
Well, let me pull it up here on my phone.
Who beat Seattle? They beat Seattle.
They beat Seattle.
Did Seattle beat them? No, they lost.
Seven
No,
and three. 7-3. He's 7 and
Yeah,
3.
I was gonna say he definitely has three losses. Who's that third loss to?
Kansas City.
Like the Bucks or the Patriots?
Whoops. Sorry, I closed that window. Uh,
I'm saying, a lot of people would probably be mad that we're not even considering several other people, but that's who I would say.
That's
I
fair.
would probably cement LeBron because people would say, "Oh, LeBron's not even the best person ever played basketball," but everyone has their own opinion. So
It's hard to, and we've talked about this off camera a bunch of times. It's hard to compare different generations because the way that the game is played now is different than the way that the game was played. We've seen pictures of Michael Jordan basically getting assaulted as he's going to the rim for a dunk. I've seen one shot that I can think of very vividly where he's got one gentleman with a hand coming up towards his face and the other guy trying to punch him in the groin. Like, if that happened today, somebody's getting teed up and they're out of the game.
well, I mean, that happens to LeBron all the time. That's also part of being a big guy, being a superstar. It happens to Embiid. It happens to Giannis. It happens to all of them.
Fair enough.
If you fouled the men who are taking 20, 30, 40 shots a game. Those games are going to take a long time. Whether they're told to do that, whether they're told to let them play, whether they let them play, I don't know. But there's definitely, I mean, you could watch any NBA game. You can turn it on right now. Maybe not the point guards because it is hard to see that, especially if a big guy whacks a point guard, he's falling down. If 5'4" whacks 1-2, yeah, they're falling down or something like that. But if there's a superstar 3 and up, they're getting whacked the whole game and barely ever getting called for it. I mean, come on. I see you keep putting me in this situation where I have to mention LeBron, and you're gonna make it look like I am a huge LeBron lover, but I like to feel like I am unbiased. When I'm doing stuff like this, if I'm a blue athletic monster. So when you're going up to lay a basket in and someone whacks your arm, but you can lift 300 pounds with that arm and it doesn't move and you still make the layup, yeah, you know, you're not going to get called that every time. But he does get whacked. So, you know, again, not just LeBron, same with players. I think Embiid's really another big one. He's a huge guy that gets whacked a lot, but can't do anything about it. Trying to think, Joker, all those guys. Like I said, you know, if you're a big man, three and up superstar, you're getting whacked the whole game anyway. So,
I would just like to again point out to all of our viewers that are watching and those who are not able to watch but are listening to the downloaded podcast wherever you get your podcast. You are in fact wearing a LeBron James Lakers Mamba edition jersey.
yes,
Correct?
it's one of my favorites. It's
Okay.
one of my favorites.
We'll get back to that later on in the show, but I want to move on because I'm actually watching the World Baseball Classic right now. Baseball starts for us as Guardians fans on March the 30th, and we're all pretty excited about that. But the World Baseball Classic has been notable for some unfortunate injuries. Freddie Freeman out for Team Canada, Edwin Diaz out for Team Puerto Rico, and just recently, Jose Altuve hit by a pitch. He's out potentially 2 months for the Houston Astros just because he played for Team Venezuela. I'm not going to ask you if we should cancel the WBC because I don't think that's the case. But what can be done to prevent these injuries? And why are you laughing?
Because because I hate Jose Altuve.
I know you do, but you can't be laughing at another man's misfortune. Good Lord.
I'm not. He'll be.
You're a father, damn it.
I'm
You're
laughing
supposed to be
because
setting the example for the kids.
I am not laughing at Jose Altuve being hurt. It's just funny
I
because
said
it's
the
like
phrase Jose Altuve got hit by a pitch, and you immediately looked like I told the best joke in the history of comedy.
because it's just funny that it's him.
Good Lord.
Because people are going to be like, oh, it's just funny that it's him because I can just see Twitter right now and people are just being like, oh, that's what you get. Like, I like it's not funny that he's hurt. Obviously, I'm laughing at the fact that I already know people are tearing that guy up. What will you say? Where'd he get hit?
In his hand.
Oh, that sucks.
Same injury that Bryce Harper had that
Is
stopped
that
him from
is
even
that
being on Team USA.
is that the same one he would use to hit the trash can with?
Oh my God. Jesus. Well, I guess double play CLE is not going to expand into Houston, Texas. Good Lord.
Listen, like I said, I don't care who you are. That sucks. So that's what are you asking? I'm sorry, did you ask a question or are we just talking about it?
More or less just talking about it, but have you
Because
had
I
a
know a
chance
lot
to
of people
watch
are
any of this?
I know a lot of people are talking about canceling it because of all the injuries. The Edwin Diaz one is huge. I don't know. I don't know if anybody watching this. I don't know if how well you keep up with baseball, but Edwin Diaz is arguably the best closer in baseball. Which again, we do not here on Double Play CLE or anyone in Cleveland media believe that we're happy that anyone gets hurt or anything like that. However,
Says the man who was just laughing about Jose Altuve's misfortune.
this should lead the way for Class A to follow up last year and just be the absolute best closer in baseball.
Edwin
Was what I'm
Diaz's
hoping
grave
for.
isn't even cold, and you're already pissing on it.
Hey, he can't play for the season, and that's Class A's biggest competition. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, great. I'm just saying his biggest Edwin Diaz is a fantastic closer, if not, like I said, the best closer in baseball right now. And I don't want to say that because Class A is probably my top 3 favorite player on my Guardians. So,
And that top 3 would be Tristan McKenzie, Jose Ramirez, Emmanuel Clase.
yeah, I said probably. I really do love me some Josh Naylor. So that's hard to say, but I love my whole team. So
So with the World
anyway,
Baseball Classic, do you think
I have not
it needs
watched
to
it. No,
but do you think it needs to be canceled?
I do. Nah, it won't be canceled. That'd be crazy.
Because at the time of this recording, the USA is beating Cuba in the semifinal game 9-2 in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, you know what's real funny is I seen someone post a thing the other day about the best players from the WBC, and they had the whole field, and not one of them was the American players. And I was like, you guys are haters, but we're gonna win the whole thing. Like they didn't have Mike Trout on there, and Mike Trout like single handedly beat Colombia by himself.
Yeah, can't argue that
I
point.
mean, so
Trey Turner and the big grand slam. That's a huge one.
I didn't even realize who did we just play yesterday
Believe it was
or
Venezuela.
the day before,
Or
whoever it
Colombia,
was,
sorry.
Venezuela.
I
No,
believe it was
not
Venezuela.
Colombia. After Colombia.
I didn't watch that game. I apologize. I'm not 100%
Who are you
sure.
watching? Who are you watching right now?
Right now is Cuba. It's the semifinal game.
Okay. Who did we just play? It was either yesterday or the day before. Was it Venezuela? Maybe it was.
Maybe.
What's their
But
flag? Like blue and yellow?
yes,
I'm pretty sure
because
it was
their
them.
uniforms are blue, yellow, and like a maroon.
Got to be better than Great Britain's.
I like Great Britain's uniform. I don't know what you're talking about. That is the greatest representation of
You mean
Great Britain there has ever been.
you mean Bray, because there's no T's. They're all
Only
on the
one
field.
only one T fell off that jersey. It was
Which T
Gray
was it?
Britain.
Gray
The
Britain.
the
Makes
first
sense.
T, yeah.
Just like their T.
Oh my God.
I
You gonna dump tea in their harbor now or something?
will not.
My God. I'm excited about the World Baseball Classic. I always have been. I think this is one of the best things that has come out of the various collective bargaining agreements and the various movements to change baseball. Because I used to watch the MLB All-Star game as a kid, and it was my favorite event of the year because you got to see guys you would never get to see team up, like Yankees players and Red Sox players working together, Dodgers players and Giants players working together to win a game. And it was cool. This is the closest we're ever going to get to that feeling again because you're looking at a team in Team USA that has Mike Trout, Trey Turner, Adam
Mookie
Wainwright
Betts.
pitching, Mookie Betts, Nolan Arenado, who is just leaving the game with a potential injury. Holy crap. I did not speak that into existence, ladies and gentlemen. But you look at all these guys, and they're representing a cause that I
It's a
don't
good
want to
thing
say.
no guard. Did any of the Guardians go?
Yes, we sent several players. I know Bo
Ahmed
Naylor,
went.
actually. Bo Naylor was actually on Team Canada and did pretty well. That's going to be our future catcher, and we can get into that in just a moment here. But
Rosario went.
yes, he did. And Andres Jimenez, who was on Team Venezuela as well. I love this format, and I love seeing players that I don't normally see. And the funny thing is, the upcoming MLB The Show video game, MLB The Show 23, is going to have these players from the World Baseball Classic in it. So that's great for the game of baseball. Anything we can do to grow the game of baseball, huge victory. Because right now, the game of baseball is hurting. And it kind of needs some new blood. It needs some new life.
What was the stat I read the other day? Something about the views. That some one of the Japan did Japan play China?
Yes, I saw that stat too. More people watched that game in Japan than watched the World Series last year. It's tough because you also have to keep in mind when certain teams make it, and it was Team USA that was playing against Venezuela because they just replayed the hit by pitch of Jose Altuve. Man, he got drilled. I'm glad you're not laughing at that this time. Holy hell.
Well, I wasn't laughing at it the
You
first
were
time.
laughing at it. There is
I was
video
not
evidence.
laughing at the fact that it happened. I was laughing at the fact, like I said, never mind.
I didn't set the fire, but since the fire was already going, I just kind of let it burn.
Whatever.
All right. So this upcoming season, a few big changes. First and foremost of all, the pitch clock. 20 seconds between pitches for an at bat, 30 seconds between batters to get into and out of the box and into a set position. Also, pitchers can only disengage twice. If you disengage a third time, you must have a pickoff. Otherwise, the runner moves up a base. All of those, plus the larger bases, going to make a big difference in the gameplay. And I was going to ask you if that was going to make a big deal. But watching the World Baseball Classic today, and as I have been all month, they're using the old school rules. They're using the smaller regular sized bases. They're using the ability to pick off as much as you want, step out of the batter's box, all that stuff. The rules that we were accustomed to. These games are really exciting. And the whole point of these rule changes was to increase offense, shorten games, and make them more exciting, right? Well, we're not
That
doing that
I
with the World Baseball Classic, and it's been some of the most exciting baseball we've had in the last 5 years. So, what is this rule change system going to do for baseball this season for you, the fan?
I don't know. I We're gonna have to wait to find give you some big old rigmarole, but that's gonna be the final answer, right? And you gotta go. I if I'm being honest, as someone that happens to be, you know, in an authority position at the place that I work at, I tend to understand rule changes and other things because a lot of people just think of it as a lot of people don't like change. That is a very well known fact.
That's fair.
So that's the first thing is people are bothered by the fact that stuff is being changed, but sometimes they don't look at the why, as you said, to speed up, um, to increase offense. I don't, I don't know that's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted to preface this whole statement with the answer of we're gonna have to go and find out because I personally don't think that the game needed sped up, but I do feel that is a common complaint that I hear. I don't like baseball, it's boring. It takes so long. Blah 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 blah. Okay, well then I guess now there's a clock. So I don't think I'll like it, but I at the same time I'm also one of those people that has to understand that it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna if I like it or not. So I'm gonna go there and try and enjoy it regardless.
Okay,
Um,
that's fair.
the shift
Oh, I
ban.
almost forgot about the shift ban. My apologies. Yes, the shift ban's actually quite huge.
Well, I thought that I was like, did he not mention the shift ban? Would you like to cover the shift ban?
Basically, there has to be two infielders on either side of second base, and they must be on the dirt. They cannot be anywhere in the outfield grass. Now, the Red Sox have skirted this rule in spring training. They used a two-man outfield and moved the left fielder to essentially where the second baseman would be playing if they were in the shift. And it did work against Joey Gallo.
So to the casual person, to the casual baseball watcher, to the only, tunes in here and there, potentially catches a game on, what does banning the shift mean for hitting?
In theory, it means that pull hitters who will pull their dominant side will only have to attack 2 defenders as opposed to 3 defenders, which was the normal case, especially for guys like Joey Gallo. Jose Ramirez was starting to have some issues with that as well. Aaron Judge could be put into that same category. Basically, anybody who pulls the ball when they swing was going to be affected by this.
So if you're taking, so you're telling me there's 2 people on either side of second base now.
Yep, first and second, and then shortstop, third base.
Okay, so there used to be 3 on from between first to second.
In most cases, you would move the shortstop over to in between first and second and have them in shallow right field for a left-handed pull hitter, and vice versa for a right-handed pull hitter, you'd put them over in shallow left, although that wasn't as common. The traditional right field shallow infield was the most common pull shift.
Okay, so there's only going to be a handful of people, the people that hit switch, that are actually going to be like affected positively from this. If you're hitting from the other way, if that's what you're talking about or whatever.
Well, there was shifts on the other side, but it wasn't as common. I don't want to completely say that it wasn't a thing, because it definitely was. It does sound like left-handed hitters are going to benefit more from this than most.
Again, we'll see. I mean, I'm sure there'll be some wacky thing that we'll come up with, and then there's a rule next year and a rule next year. And, I don't want to sound like an old man, but it's just at what point do you just, let us play? And on top of it all, the bigger base thing, I'm assuming is to allow for more base hits, more stolen bases, more first to thirds as the base is bigger and you got more room or less room for error, this, that, so on and so forth.
It also seems to have diminished the amount of bang bang plays at first, which was a big concern since there were a lot of errors.
Isn't that kind of one of the more exciting things to watch?
Well, I grant you that, but a lot of those bang bang plays would result in injuries, and that's a huge
And then,
problem.
see, you beat me to it. I was going to say because none of this. Okay. Because I was going to say I felt like none of these rules are for player health. And I feel like that was an issue. But I guess if that's how they're going to cover their butts, then okay.
Like, this one rule is for safety. The rest of them we're doing for fun, but this one rule just for you guys. We got your back right here. For me, I'm excited to see the larger bases is going to be a big issue, and I think a lot of people are going to notice it in probably late July, early August.
Big issue for what?
Because there's going to be a lot of movement on the base paths now. So things that wouldn't normally result in a runner moving up, you might be able to take that risk. Like, say you have a fast runner at first and, oh man, it's a shallow fly to left field. Oh, but he caught it. Oh, but he kind of bobbled it. Off you go. If you're off with the races, you could probably beat that throw. Because
that makes for more offense, which is exactly what they want. So,
is that what you want, though?
I wouldn't mind it. Because on top of it all, you're telling me that, there's still, that's not a guaranteed play whatsoever. That's so true. I mean, yes, it is kind of what I want. I want to see. I would like to see more action, and then that should speed it up too and increase, outs and stuff.
And for those that haven't seen the difference in the bases, MLB Network actually put out a tweet about this where they put the old base on top of the new base, it's basically a 25% increase on both sides. It's kind of nuts, the amount of real estate that is now in place here. It's going to be interesting to see what the pitch clock does. I think that's going to be the most critical change, because there are a lot of pitchers right now in Major League Baseball who have been there for 5, 6, 7 years, who haven't touched a pitch clock. They didn't go through the minor leagues when the pitch clock was a thing, because all of these pitch clock things, all of these rule changes have been products of minor league baseball. Tristan McKenzie and I want to say it was Cal Quantrill were interviewed, and they talked about how they're not worried about a pitch clock because that's all they've known. So for them, it gives them a competitive advantage. Whereas, I don't know, maybe a Justin Verlander won't have that same advantage simply because he's not used to the pitch clock, especially in an April, May, when you're just now getting used to this.
Well, in that light, I am now a big fan of the pitch clock.
Oh my God. If
I
Justin
think
Verlander gets,
I think this is a great idea.
oh my
Justin
Lord.
Verlander's already washed anyway. We both know it. And I say that respectively. I mean, the dude's a
First ballot Hall of Famer, yes. I mean, he is.
again.
Whether you like him or not, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I said yes, correct.
You said it with derision. You said it like you don't want it to be true.
I'm sorry, do you?
No, he ruined my life for many, many years as a Tigers starter that was just mowing through Cleveland baseball like he was actually in landscaping.
Yeah, so
Your predictions for the Guardians this year. Our Cleveland Guardians made it to the postseason, made it to the ALDS, faced a very tough New York Yankees lineup that pretty much
very
everybody was going to
tough.
have to.
No, not really. The
I mean,
Yankees lineup wasn't tough.
Okay, look, Aaron Judge hit 62 home runs. That alone makes that lineup more dangerous.
Arson Judge was like 1 for 10 by the time it was like game 3.
Wasn't that one a home run, though?
I don't think so. It might have been, but I don't think so. But if it was, I think it was in one of the games they lost. So
your prediction, what's going to happen for the Guardians in 2023?
I don't know. I think we repeat exactly like last year. Probably a slightly better record. Win the division. Don't have to play wild card weekend.
That would be nice.
I don't think we make it to the World Series, unfortunately. I think we're still too young for that. I think we could make it to what was it, the ALDS? The
DS, the
semifinals.
CS. The CS would be further than the DS. That's the American League Championship Series, and then the World Series after that.
The semifinals. I always get them all mixed up.
We have acronyms for everything now.
I finally got onto the fact that we're AL, so just be happy with that. The AL semi-championships.
So you're going
semifinals.
ALCS. They're going to make it to the American League Championship game. Championship Series.
Yeah, I don't think. Listen, because Houston is a gosh darn juggernaut. I'm not worried about New York. I'm not worried about New York at all. Especially because didn't they lose a couple people? Didn't they lose someone? I thought they got rid of like one or two, like Bader or something like that.
I think Bader's still with them.
I think he still is too. That's why I didn't. I thought they got rid of someone though.
I don't think they had too many exoduses in the offseason.
Did they get anyone? I'm not too worried about the Yankees.
The Yankees, as they stood last season, were a World Series team, and that's what worries me is that you're going to have to go up against them again.
No,
or Houston.
One person doesn't make you a playoff team.
One team I will throw
And then
at people.
Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole's got like how many years he got left on his contract? Because that's how many years he's got left in the league.
3 or 4.
Yeah,
He's
not
still got a
really.
little bit.
But yeah, but that's not. But that's about how much he's got left. How long has he been playing?
Well, he started with Pittsburgh in, I believe, 2011,
Yeah,
somewhere around in there.
yeah, he
Maybe
hasn't got much
2013,
left.
somewhere around in there. Because he was a first round draft pick with the Pittsburgh Pirates, who just brought back Andrew McCutchen.
I thought he retired.
No, he went to Pittsburgh. It sounds like this is going to be his final season, Dr. Evil.
Why am I Doctor Evil?
Well, you're stroking your cat right now.
He wanted to be pet.
Oh my God. So I'll throw this at you. Do with it whatever you will. The Detroit Tigers in the offseason announced that they're bringing in the fences at Comerica Park significantly. We've watched enough games in Comerica. Guardians fans, we've watched them play the Tigers enough. There have been a lot of long fly balls to right center field and center field that in other ballparks would have been long gone. That because they were playing in that specific ballpark were just long outs. I think that is something to keep an eye on. And I think the Tigers are a threat to be a wild card team. And I know a lot of people are going to look at me crazy for that. I'm telling you right now, a team that has nothing to lose is the most dangerous team in baseball.
They don't even have anyone on their team.
They have a soon to be retired Miguel Cabrera.
I say
who
the
now
script
has-
writers might write it for Miggy, but that's about it.
But he now has an easier target for these home runs that he's got a ton of home runs. You look at his numbers, I think he's like 400, 500 deep. And you're going to make it even just slightly easier for him to hit a home run at home where he plays 81 games a year. That's a good thing for him.
He's going to see if he can't make it up there with Albert Pujols. Up there, so he's going to hit 200 home runs this season.
And then he'll be tested for steroids every single day of his life.
200 home runs isn't a lot to ask for.
The record is 73.
Better start hitting them. Oh,
My
my TV
Lord.
just like turned real light. Scared the crap out of me.
Meanwhile, my TV keeps going into weird color schemes and it's throwing off the lighting on my face, apparently. And for those of you, of course, we're happy to be part of the Leaveland Media LLC with Double Play CLE. I have the privilege of joining everybody for the Guardians preview podcast, which is going to be sometime next week. So watch for that to drop. That's going to be a lot of fun.
When's the opening day?
March the 30th in Seattle, 10 p.m. Eastern Time.
You said March?
March 30th, yeah. And then
Oh,
home
that's
opener
right
is
around the
exactly
corner.
1 week away from that. Also against
Oh
Seattle.
boy.
So we play Seattle, which was a playoff contender. They made it to the postseason and got wiped in the wild card round by Houston. And we play them both series 1 week and then another, and then we won't see them again until potentially October. That scares me.
Your favorite team, huh?
Seattle has always held a soft spot in my heart. Look, I grew up with Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, Jay Buhner, Edgar Martinez. That was a great team in the 90s. And the reason that there's still baseball in Seattle.
No one cares about Seattle.
I want to go to Seattle. In fact, they're the host of this year's All-Star game in 2023.
If you're not Cleveland, you don't matter.
Oh, Lord.
We got a strong young core. I'm excited for this Guardians season.
I believe Shane Bieber was actually announced as the opening day starter. Would you rather see Tristan McKenzie in that role, or are you happy with the veteran status of Shane Bieber?
No, because just as you just put it, I think you do. I think you put your veteran foot forward. We got a Cy Young Award winner. Um, you know, how many Cy Young Award winners are playing currently? You just give me it's a throw me a number.
I
Do
want
you
to say
think?
I want to say maybe 15.
Okay.
I
So
can't think it's more than 20.
I think you start him, and I think Tristan McKenzie is a strong second. And there's nothing I don't think, especially someone like Tristan McKenzie, who is another LeBron James, just goes just just nice to see. Where's Tristan McKenzie from?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me double check that.
Um, what I'm driving at here is that Tristan McKenzie is also very good with the community. He's a very good-hearted person. Did he win that award last year too?
He did not.
Give me that first answer. I see you're ready for it. Oh, I thought you were.
Tristan, I was close. Nope, not there. Hang on. From Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nice to know. It's just nice to see the people of Cleveland being that nice and stuff like that. But anyway, what I was getting around to is that Tristan McKenzie is what am I trying to say? He's a light-hearted person. Like he's not going to take the fact that he's not announced as the ace hurtful. If you understand what I'm saying,
Mhm.
that he's going to go seek out, like he's disgruntled because he wasn't named the ace. He might honestly prefer the second position. And anyone who plays baseball would understand the fact that whether you are named the ace or not, there's not only one pitcher. You can't only have one pitcher. You can't only have two pitchers. You can't only have one, two, three, four, five pitchers. So you know what I mean? There needs to be at least, I think, if you're five on a rotation, then maybe you can start. Maybe I might be able to go somewhere else and do something if you're that confident in your own ability. But 1 through 4 is in basketball, you're part of the starting lineup. In football, you're part of the starting lineup. If you're 1 through 4, if you're 1 through 5, honestly, but I don't. Do we have 5? You got Shane, Tristan, Kale, and then Plesac.
So do you pay Shane Bieber?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, right. Like you're more. I like my pitchers, but you have a better overall analysis of them. But I don't remember Shane Bieber ever disappointing me last year.
I mean, the thing with Shane Bieber is his postseason record,
I mean, obviously,
which isn't the greatest.
I I I keep Shane Bieber
But where do you
because
get that money from? Because right now you've got the Diamond Sports Group, which is the parent company of Bally Sports, has filed for bankruptcy. They're trying to shed $800 million worth of debt that they currently have. That's essentially where all this money was coming from in the off season, where the TV contracts for these teams, half of which have gone up in smoke.
they'll find another one. Something else will come about, just like it always does, right?
Well, as of right now, Major League Baseball is preparing to take over the television
Yeah, I've
rights for the
seen that.
teams and stream those games for free, which is a
I
huge
say
change
they
from a
said
zero
that they
growth.
said they do the thing. They said I heard something about they did that for because did they Bally also do NHL?
NHL and NBA. Bally Sports has, I think, 42 different sports across 3 different leagues.
So of course they're going to do that as like an emergency thing, but you think they're going to keep that?
I don't think they're going to keep that, but I think what they might keep is
I'll
the
say you
lack
got to
of
pay someone to
blackouts.
do that.
You got to get
Nah,
rid of those blackouts because that was one of the problems with MLB.TV was that, yeah, I can watch any game that's going on in Major League Baseball, but if I want to watch my home team, I have to wait until after the game is over for 90 minutes until it gets archived to the database, and then I can watch it. That's an awful lot to ask when I just want to watch the Cleveland Guardians play against the Detroit Tigers on I don't know, a Thursday afternoon on lunch break.
That's when you just go to Twitter or YouTube.
Let's
Easy
not
enough
tell
problem
people how
solved.
to illegally do that. But Believe Live Media does
That's
not
not
do that.
illegal. If it's on YouTube or Twitter, that's not illegal.
If somebody's put a stream of a game
Me
on,
watching it's not illegal. Them posting it is. And besides, I wasn't talking about like a stream. I was just talking about like, like Twitter usually has like YouTube will have highlights from whichever network it is. They always do like at least like an hour or so after the game. Something usually quicker.
but sometimes you just want to sit down and watch the game.
I never watch a game after it's over.
Ever?
Nah, not unless it's like the 2016 Cavs championship. Other than that, no.
I can tell people for certain that you have watched WNBA games after they were completed.
Well, and the TV is like background noise because
Maybe,
ESPN was on.
but you didn't turn it off.
That's not true because I didn't watch it.
Oh
I
my
didn't. I didn't watch it. Just because it was on doesn't mean I watched it.
Now you're
Sounds
just
like
playing
you watch it.
semantics. Holy God. I do. Go Chicago.
Chicago, what?
Sky.
Mm. What's Calgary's team's name?
Calgary doesn't have a WNBA team.
Mm. Interesting.
All right. So we're definitely locked and loaded for baseball. It's going to be a fun season, regardless what happens, because
Nope.
we have an exciting team, an exciting nucleus. God, what are you doing?
I didn't. Did you lose me there for a second?
Yes,
My phone was like, my phone was tilting, and I went to press it, and I thought I hit my swipe bar, and I was like, oh God, I'm gonna lose him.
Oh my God. Major League Baseball season starts again Thursday, March 30th. It'll be an all-day affair across MLB Network, ESPN. I'm sure Fox will get into the action on April the 1st. You and I will have something else to do on April 1st and April 2nd, which we can talk about in a little bit. But I want to get into a little bit of Cavs here because the Cavaliers are hot right now. It's been one of their best seasons since LeBron James left. Can they avoid the play-in tournament?
They're in fourth place. What do you mean?
I'm saying, can they stay there?
Yeah, yeah.
You're incredulous. Like, what do you mean? Can they avoid the play-in tournament? They're currently
Well,
avoiding it.
I was just gonna say. I mean, I don't take this offensively, but that's a stupid question. Of course, they're gonna avoid the play-in tournament.
It's a
And
good thing
maybe
I'm
I
not an
say,
interviewer because I would take that offensively.
well, I mean, give you the Russell Westbrook. Like, what? What is you talking about? Like playoffs,
Oh my God.
play-in? Yeah, no, there's no way. There's no way they go to the play-in. And because if they do, they're gonna lose it. So they better not go to the play-in. They only have like how many games are left? There's only a handful of games left.
I think there's like a dozen or so.
Yeah, and they only need 6, 7 to make it into the playoffs and not the play-in.
Yeah, because they just have to stay in
Holy
fourth.
shit! I just realized that it's off and in the playoffs and the play into the playoffs. That's dumb. I don't like the name of it. They need a better name for it. I don't mind the idea of it, but um, I don't think they're gonna do anything though. And I say that with a heavy heart because I am a Cavs fan. Even though I'm wearing a LeBron jersey, I'm a not only am I a superstar fan, but I'm also a jersey fan. And I do really like this jersey because of the all black. I do need me an all black Cavs jersey. Maybe I'll get off here and get one. I'll do that just for you guys. If we get a whole extra 10 new I don't even know what we have. Likes on our page. I'll get
On
me
the
a New
Double Play
Jersey.
CLE Facebook page.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a good idea.
Anyway, I don't think they're going to do anything in the playoffs, though, unfortunately. Every time we play a team that is a playoff team, a big example would be the two losses we've already taken to the 76ers. We lose to the Celtics every time we play them, which are, the two teams in the East that are ahead of us. And the third being, I don't even know who that team is. Who's that third team?
I think it's Milwaukee, actually.
Yes, it is. It is Milwaukee. We might be 1-1 against them, but I don't even think Milwaukee's that good either.
So
Giannis is
the top four right now.
the top are Philadelphia, followed by who's the second team I just said? The other team. Oh no,
It's
the Celtics are in first.
Milwaukee on top. Philadelphia is currently 2 games back in a tie with the Boston Celtics.
Milwaukee's on top.
Yeah, they're 50 and
I
20
didn't
right now.
know that. You know what? I did freaking know that too, because I read that on Facebook. Because they're the only team that has 50 wins right now, right?
They are. The Nuggets are
Yep.
the next closest with 48 wins, and they're probably
I'm such an
stable.
idiot. I know stuff, and then I just let it slip. I said they're third. I knew they had 50 wins too. Yeah.
In fact, Milwaukee and Boston have clinched a playoff berth.
Yeah, I saw that because Philadelphia hasn't, but they're in second. I have no idea how that works because they lost an extra game.
Yeah, tiebreakers are a big
Yeah,
thing.
but clinched a playoff berth. That means that they would have to probably at this point in the season they would have to lose every single game, and who's ever in sixth place would have to win every single game.
That would
So
be
who's in?
the Brooklyn Nets.
I said the net. I thought the Nets were in fifth. Who's are the Suns? Are the
So
Suns?
the
The
top,
Suns are on the other side, huh?
yeah.
Hold on.
So
It's not the Grizzlies are on the other side. Golden State's on the other side. Oh, who is it? It's Milwaukee. Then you said 76ers, then the Celtics, then the Cavaliers.
who are 2.5 games ahead of 5th place right now.
Oh, I really thought it was the Nets. I don't know. Tell me.
It's the Knicks.
I forgot about the Knicks. Yeah, the Knicks have been pretty good too. I like the Knicks. I like Julius Randle. I like Jalen Brunson. Julius Randle been in the league a little bit longer than I thought. At least a couple of years now. I didn't know. The dude, I like the fact that I don't know if I want to say the NBA forced it, but the fact that big men are shooting now. And that's Julius Randle is a giant, clunky looking dude that can shoot a 3-point. Now he doesn't shoot a lot. He'll only hit one or two. In a great game, he'll hit 3, 4, 5. But he'll still give you like there's a couple games where he's gotten 40 if I'm not mistaken. I know he gives them 30 a lot. And he's they're 4 or 5. So if he gives you 30 points, he's giving you 10 rebounds. So he gets a lot of double doubles. I don't know if he's gotten a triple double or not, but I do know he does do some assists. So I do like the Knicks.
It's worth noting that the Cavs and the Knicks, as of the time of this recording, both 7-3 in their last 10. The only team right now in the division or in the conference that's hotter, Philadelphia, they're 9-1.
Yeah, we're one of the teams that Philadelphia beat. Joel Embiid is also on a like 10, 11, 12, 30-point game streak. So he's just tearing it up. I'm pretty sure he passed Joker for MVP candidate. I'm pretty sure he's first in line right now for MVP candidate. Which I gotta say, I like that team. I hate that they're in the East, but I like that team. I like Joel Embiid. I don't like James Harden.
Who does?
But if Doc Rivers and Joel Embiid can take the city of Philadelphia and James Harden to a championship, I just think that's more credit to them. But as much as I don't like James Harden, why don't you like James Harden?
It's kind of a jerk.
What do you mean?
Like everything he does has an air of just being an absolute jerk. He has
He's a
this
diva.
he has this cloud of being a jerk about him.
And
Why would you want
how
to see
much
that succeed?
how much have you heard about that this season?
Admittedly, not as much. I can't
That's
honestly think of any,
kind of
but
that's
but
kind of what I'm driving
but
at here is, maybe the dude had a change of attitude and he's just playing basketball. And he's been doing it. I mean, not only this season, did you hear anything about him last season or the season before? Ever since he's been in Philly, it's almost just kind of like he's putting his nose down and playing basketball. And Lord help him, it's working. So I mean, I'll give credit where credit is due. That duo has been tearing it up. I mean, right now you're almost kind of literally kidding yourself if you're going to tell me you're going to take any other duo in the NBA right now, with the exception of maybe Luka and Kyrie, but they're still too new.
and it really hasn't paid much dividends for the Mavericks. I was actually just looking at their
They've
record.
already had a double 40-point game.
Yeah, but the Mavericks are sitting in sixth place at 36 and 35, and they're 4-6 in their last 10.
But that's because the rest of their whole roster is beat up. Don't give me. Do they have Christian Wood? Who else do they have? Not Dimwitty. I think he was part of the trade. And
Like
see, I need to get back.
the
Uh-huh.
Western Conference is kind of. I mean, can you guess who the top three teams are in the Western Conference?
I know the answer to this.
I don't think you're going to get all three teams, dude.
Nah, I probably won't. Where are the Clippers at? Are the Clippers one of them?
They're in the top five.
Okay. It's not the Grizzlies anymore, is it?
It is the Grizzlies. They're sitting in third, 4 games back
Okay.
of number one.
It's Denver is number one.
The Nuggets are number one at 48 and 24.
If Memphis is number three, who's number two? Oh, on the Western Conference. God, see, my problem is I don't know conferences. It's not. Oh, I know who the hell it is. It's Sacramento.
It is Sacramento. They're 8-2 in their last 10, 4 games back of the lead, 43 and 27 overall.
Yeah,
It's
boy.
kind of
Try
impressive.
me. Tell me I won't get all three.
All
You
I have
didn't
to
think
do
I
is
was gonna. You didn't
I
think
did
I was
not
gonna
think you were
know
going
that one.
I didn't think you were going to know Sacramento. I did not.
Yeah, they've. If I named you the player, you don't know anyone on that team. De'Aaron Fox, Demonte Sabonis. Yeah, I can't think. Is Herter on that team? I don't even know. They are a couple of young dogs that have just been playing pretty well. So they're like, you would actually like them because they're just like the Tim Duncan Spurs. Just
Oh, that's ridiculous.
no fundamental, no flashiness, just good basketball. They play very sound, good basketball. Very young team, almost like the Guardians last year. Just young, just playing the game. Who's their other person? Darren Fox is their um biggest superstar. I could even be wrong about Sabonis being on that team. I don't know, but yeah, I know. Yeah, they're a good team. And don't forget, we beat that team.
So is Sacramento your dark horse to win it all?
No, they won't win it all. They don't have any veterans on their team. They don't have any locker room leaders. They don't have anyone that's been I'm not a huge basketball guru as much as some people are. But I don't think they have anyone on their roster that's been to the finals before, let alone in the playoffs.
But
Because
is
I'm
that
pretty sure
necessarily a bad thing? sometimes not knowing what to expect, you can just react to it naturally. Who knows?
Yeah, no,
Natural.
no. How many people do you know? And I'm sure there is some, but I can't think of any names that have won their championship the first time they went into it.
It's a very tough row to hoe. There's no doubt about that. But it's
Did Tom Brady
possible.
win his first one? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure he did. If the first one he lost was to the Giants.
I'm pretty sure he did. Because that would have been
So,
the one
but
against
did did
the Rams.
did he win? Did he win the first time he went to the playoffs though? Because that's what we're talking about here.
I'm fairly certain he did.
Well, whatever.
I can tell you somebody who didn't.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
LeBron James made it to the finals though. That's exactly what I'm saying. I could see them making it. You know what? I take that back. I couldn't even see them making it to the finals. I don't see any. I don't see anyone but the Nuggets winning the West.
Okay, so the Nuggets.
The Nuggets are where the Mavs at? Are the Mavs
They
in the
are
West?
the Mavs are sixth in the West. They're
I
a game and
could
a half
see.
up on the Warriors.
I could see the Mavs because Kyrie just got there. You never know. They could gel. They could completely fall out. They're missing someone too. The whole that's another thing. We can talk about injuries like we were talking about earlier with the WBC. Um,
Another one just happened, by the way, while we were talking to outfield collision. That was scary.
nice.
Not for
There's
us. It
a
was for Cuba.
there's a lot of NBA players that are hurt.
I know at one point
There's a
Donovan
lot of
Mitchell was
NBA
on
players that are hurt.
load management very recently.
Donovan Mitchell's been on and off all season. Darius Garland as well. Kevin Durant, if you didn't hear about the news about him. So he was hurt for, I don't know, whatever his was. He hurt his leg again or whatever in Brooklyn. So then he got his trade or whatever to Phoenix. And then the day he was supposed to debut, he hurt himself in warmups. He was in warmups on the court and he like sprained his ankle or something like that.
That's just horrible.
Yeah. You almost don't believe it, to be honest.
Like, are you sure your ankle's okay? No, my
He's
ankle's
hurt.
really hurt. My ankle's really hurt.
I know Booker was hurt for a good chunk of the season. I'm pretty sure he's back though. LeBron's out. Luka goes out every other day. AD was out for half the season. Zion's been out and is ruled out even longer. It's all been a mess. So
Well, this wouldn't be double play CLE if we didn't talk even a little bit of wrestling. I know our friends at the Pile Driver podcast will definitely have a lot more to say about what we're going to talk about. But WrestleMania is less than 2 weeks away. Saturday, April the 1st, Sunday, April the 2nd, the 2-night extravaganza. What match are you most excited for coming our way from Hollywood, California?
I don't even know what the matches are. I haven't. I'll tell you, wrestling has. I don't know. There's a lot of it nowadays. It's hard to
Yes,
keep up with
there
it
is.
all.
It really is.
I don't even. So Cody's wrestling Roman.
Yep,
That's
for
like
the
that's like
undisputed WWE Universal Championship.
so for both the titles.
It's for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, whatever
Which
they
one's
mean
which?
that to
Give
be.
me which color.
So they haven't specified whether that means both titles officially, if both titles are part of one. It's
But Roman only has one match.
yes, he only has one match.
They're not Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn in there.
No, as a matter of fact, it looks like, based on what happened on Friday Night SmackDown, the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship will be defended by the Usos against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Where's the Money in the Bank briefcase isn't around anywhere?
We have a Money in the Bank premium live event coming up in July in London, England at the O2 Arena.
No. So the briefcase isn't in play for
No,
WrestleMania.
no. Austin Theory already ruined that back at an episode of Raw where he cashed in on the United States champion at the time, Seth Rollins, and failed.
Are you sure?
I know what I
Did,
saw.
did, did Seth Rollins steal it? Is he going to come cash in on Roman?
See,
That would be.
that would have been fun, but we don't have any briefcases in play as of now.
Are you sure?
Yes. In fact, Seth Rollins has a pretty big matchup of his own. Seth freaking Rollins goes one-on-one with the social media megastar Logan Paul.
Where's the Miz?
The Miz is the host of WrestleMania in Hollywood, California this year. Some other matches to whet your appetite for what's going to be a hell of a night. Two nights, excuse
someone
me.
beats the Miz up.
Maybe. The SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair will defend her championship against the 2023 Royal Rumble winner, the Nightmare Rhea Ripley, who set the record for the longest time in a Women's Royal Rumble match at well over 1 hour.
Oh yeah, Charlotte gonna win that.
Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair looks to eclipse a 1-year reign as champion. She defends against Asuka. You also have the Intercontinental Championship just announced on Friday Night SmackDown, a triple threat match. Gunther, who is now the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion since the Honky Tonk Man, defending against Sheamus and Drew McIntyre in a triple threat match. Hey, Honky Tonk Man held the title for a long time. He was cool, he was cocky, and he was bad.
Where's John Cena?
John Cena is challenging the United States champion Austin Theory for the United States Championship.
Is this it?
That is the match.
Is this it? Is this his 17th reign?
Well, this would be the United States Championship, so it's not a world championship.
Oh, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
I think he wins it. I think he wins it. And then, did he wrestle? He did wrestle Roman, didn't he?
Yeah, he wrestled Roman at SummerSlam 2 years back, 2022.
For the title?
Sorry, 21. Yes. Because that was the one where Brock Lesnar came back afterwards and
Roman's had the title for 2 years?
2+ years, yes.
No, he hasn't.
900 plus days, closing in on 1,000 days as champion. The fact that you
talk about long-term
incredulous, the fact that you are incredulous about that should tell you all you need to know. This Roman Reigns' reign needs to end. But another big match you might be excited for WrestleMania, the rated R superstar Edge goes one-on-one with the Prince Finn Balor inside Hell in a Cell. It'll be the first Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania since the end of
since Batista and Triple H.
No. This would be the end of the era match with The Undertaker and Triple H with Shawn Michaels as the guest referee. That was back in Miami, WrestleMania 28.
No, what about Batista and Triple H?
That was just a no-holds-barred match. That was the night that he ripped Batista's earring out with the pliers.
He ripped his nose ring out.
Something like that. Either way, it was uncomfortable and squeamish. I think that's all.
What about Kevin Owens?
Well, the potential tag team matchup with Sami Zayn against the Usos seems to be the route we're going to go with that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Nah, he's definitely gonna. So that's not in cement.
It has not been announced. It has not been confirmed as of yet. As of
he's
the time of this recording.
Title. He's wrestling for the title.
I
am most excited to see Sami Zayn win the title off of Roman.
I don't think it's going to happen. I think if you were going to do that, you would have done that.
Boy, they're going to shatter Cody's moment because nobody's going to be happy with that.
Well, not necessarily. What if you do it across 2 days? You have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens win the tag team titles on night 1. People will have forgotten everything that's happened on night 2. We've seen that. We've had multiple day WrestleManias where people still don't remember that Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestled twice at WrestleMania. Like he was at WrestleMania the next night, stunning Vince McMahon's ass.
Man, well, Mick Foley wrestled 3 times in the Rumble, so
As 3 different people.
he should have came back as Mick Foley. He should have came back as Eugene.
My God in heaven. So WrestleMania again, April 1st, April 2nd. It's going to be exciting. It's the first time Triple H has had a chance to book WrestleMania, and that's always an exciting thing.
I don't think Cody Rhodes wins.
I'm starting to worry about that myself.
That way they can get it back to Sami Zayn.
I don't think Sammy's the guy. I don't think they look at him as a long-term investment.
They have to be long term.
Well, if you were
It
going
was
to
the
do
right
that,
choice.
you would have done it in Montreal at Elimination Chamber, and instead they had him lose. I love Sami Zayn, and I've been a fan of Sami Zayn since his days in NXT as the underdog from the underground. But it's tough to say whether or not you should put the heavyweight championship on Sami Zayn.
No, I get it. Guess we'll find out.
One last question before we get out of here on Double Play CLE. You've been talking about your jersey that you're wearing tonight, which is a Lakers LeBron James jersey, for those of you who are listening and not
LeBron
watching.
James.
What is your favorite sports jersey in all of history?
Man, that's so tough. You got to ask me questions like that and
That's
not
what a
give me
good
time to
journalist
prepare
does.
for it.
That's
No,
what a good
because
journalist does.
no, you got to be able to prepare for it because I could like think about it and be like, "Oh no, I was wrong." I don't know. I like this one. I like the Miami blue and pink ones. There's a lot. I don't know. Personally, are probably those yellow Cavs ones from 2016.
Really? The golden ones?
Yeah. Always been a huge fan of those. Finally got my hands on one this year.
You did?
Yeah, remember I showed you that, the LeBron one?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So out of all of the jerseys in existence,
Dude, I don't know. You would have to give me way more time for that one.
okay, maybe
There's a lot of, you know, I mean, and of all time, dude, I would have to at least go by sport. Ain't no way I would be able to pick one.
okay, that's a fair question. Your favorite, you pick the sport and you tell me what your favorite jersey is.
I could give you my least favorite jersey of all time.
Oh my God, this is not going to be good for us, is it?
It would be worse for Jeff. It's that ugly ass Pittsburgh Steelers bumblebee jersey. Got to be, even the Pittsburgh Steelers fans hate that jersey,
They
with the
don't. That's the
exception
problem.
of Jeff. Yeah, they do. Ask him. Ask him how much crap he gets for that jersey. That's why he wears it, because he's a troll in the first place. I say that it's the truth, and Jeff, if you see this, I know you're going to agree with me. So you know.
Oh my God. Okay.
There's a lot of unique jerseys. I do like those Vancouver Grizzly jerseys, the teal ones. Same with, someone mentioned this to me the other day. I think it was my coworker. I think I'm actually going to get one. Where those old school Piston jerseys, the teal ones, those ones are raw. I really do like those ones.
They just brought those back as the
City Connect or whatever like that.
Yeah, whatever their
Did they?
alternate
I'm about to
jersey
get.
is. Yeah.
I'm about to get that. Is it
It's
alternate or is there City? That's what they call their alternate. I think is the City
their
Connect.
alternate. So it does have some Nike-isms to it. I think that it uses like the '90s Nike logo on it or something like that instead of the
We always
traditional
get
swoosh.
shafted on that stuff. I don't like ours.
The white one.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of it.
that they're inspired by like the metro parks and stuff, which is really cool. But I don't like them that much. Mike really likes them. I don't like them.
I like the orange and blue one that we had with the little kind of like zigzaggy look. I liked that. I thought it was pretty cool.
I have one of those. I have the black and blue one. I have a Kevin Love one. I do think I'm going to get me a new red one though. But I don't know who to get. I don't want to get Donovan Mitchell. He pisses me off. I'll get Jared Allen. He pisses me off too, though. They all piss me off. Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley's been doing good too. All right.
So quick shout out to some of the sponsors here on Believe Land Media LLC, Medina Auto Mall. Let's see here. Daystar Ford and Brunswick Auto Mart are just some of the many sponsors here on Believe Land Media LLC, which we are happy to bring you Double Play CLE once again back. Lord knows what we're going to do with it this time. And there's a lot of great content across Believe Land Media LLC. So check out all the podcasts also on YouTube that you can check out. This was fun. This was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun when I was doing Ohio Championship Wrestling last night. I know the full show is now available on YouTube on Believe Land Media LLC's YouTube page. So check that out. Myself and Drew the Werewolf Starner on the call. At some point, I will be on another podcast with, I think I'm going to be on the Z Files, but I don't know for sure if that's going to happen because that's up to Zoe. Check out our friends at the Pile Driver Podcast for all your wrestling needs, because you know that those boys do it better than anybody else. And of course, stay tuned right here for Double Play CLE.